Hey guys, happy Thursday. Welcome to Signal Check. It's been a little bit since I've done this, and I think the members kind of know why. I completely tore apart my setup for my room, so I think the video, by the time this comes out, is going to be live on Mono Broadcast TV, and just mainly it's me picking up shit. Apologize about the sunglasses. I don't typically wear these, but I can't find my actual sunglasses. So these are going over my regular glasses, and I look like a nerd. But it gets the job done. It's nice, bright, sunny out today. And figured we'd go ahead, do a signal check, give a little bit of updates, talk a little bit. Really, I don't have a whole lot going on. I think, for the Flipper Zero video, I don't know what to really do next with that device. I've ordered a couple other like devices similar to the Flipper Zero, and just going to give those a shot. That there's one called like Interrupt, and then there's another device that I just saw, and I don't think I completed that checkout process. I think I stopped midway. So there's another like device for it, and or not for it, but its own entity that's to do similar testing. And we might be moving on from Flipper Zero unless you guys have something specific you want to see with the Flipper Zero. I say this in multiple videos. What I primarily use that device for is to open up my garage door, and then it's also a backup for my car. My car is old enough to have it as a key fob in case the car gets locked with the keys inside. I'm able to use it to unlock my car, and it doesn't affect the rolling code, or it doesn't have one. So I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you want to see with the Flipper Zero, or I might stumble across something. We could check out the apps and see, but a lot of that requires peripherals and different boards to plug in the top. I just don't really know what to do with the Flipper Zero, as I don't use it outside of making these videos. And again, I take it on my walks with Miles, and to open up the garage door so I can get in and out of the house easier. So yeah, we got a sponsor for Dream Controller, and they sent me over a controller. Imagine that. A company called Dream Controller, and they also sent me a shirt. Maybe I should have led with that, right? But no, they sent me a controller. They sent me an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, which the only thing we can really judge and really take into account is the design of the controller, the print that's on it, and I think it's hydro dipping is what they do. When I was kind of looking through it and checking it out and whatnot, and it's clean. It's real clean. I think Russ might have some footage of that. We might be able to post some right here while I'm dealing with traffic. It's very nice. It feels very smooth. Like, it feels like that's how the controller was supposed to be from the get-go. It doesn't feel like it was, slapped on afterthought. Like, it's a very premium print on a very premium product. And so far, my testing of the controller itself, I'm not a big fan of the controller. I think I'd rather just kind of do an Xbox experience and just do a regular Xbox controller. The charging dock is like ruining the print on the back. It's like digging into the plastic of the controller itself. It's not just scraping off the design, it's actually digging into the plastic itself. So I'm trying not to use that and just plug it in like normal. I think these are common problems with Xbox Elite controllers. It's expensive is the other thing. They did send me the controller for free, but there's no paid sponsorship. They're not seeing anything I talk about it ahead of time. So, it's an investment for a controller. I think it's a $200 controller, and I try to keep that in mind when I'm going over it. Like, I talk about it positively because I didn't spend $200 on it, so I have a different experience than the average user would have, who's actually pouring in their money into that product. And so I try to keep that into account when I do these, is that it's not, it didn't cost me $200, but it's going to cost someone else $200. And so I want to treat it as if it did cost me $200 in my reviews. And again, I think really the only part that you could really judge Dream Controller on is the design, because that's what they're doing. They're putting a custom design on controllers. They are not producing the controllers. They are not manufacturing the controllers. It is just the design, and the design is top notch. I think it would be really cool if Dream Controller allows for users to upload their own artwork. If that could be a feature, maybe even charge more for it, because they get the designs once, then they kind of get the tubs. I don't know the process of hydro dipping, but having that, maybe charge a little bit more, so that way you get your own custom design on the controller. I think that might produce more sales. The designs they have are so clean. They have this Dragon Ball Z controller based off the Xbox, just regular controller. I think I might actually end up buying that myself, picking that up myself. I think that's like $130 for a regular Xbox controller. And you think about it, if you go to a video game pre-owned store, you can get these controllers for like $40, I think is what they're currently running right now. And you get it brand new for 80 or, 60, 80. So, but I think that having that custom design right now, Mrs. Broadcast and I, we're watching all of Dragon Ball Z Kai, just to cut out the fluff. And let me know if there's any Dragon Ball Z fans. Do you prefer Kai over Z? I've seen all of Z throughout my life. Watching it on TV, and Toonami, and then owning the DVD box set. But there is a lot of filler. There's a lot of screaming. Kai, what I'm enjoying about Kai is that we're getting the story, we're getting the main plot points, but we're cutting out a lot of the fluff. There's a lot of side stories that I think a lot of people are like, oh, that was a cool side quest, and that was really cool, and it is. But it's also nice just to kind of to get to the main plot points of the series, and then we can actually. I've never seen Dragon Ball Z Super or anything like that. I've always kind of wanted to rewatch the series and then get into all the other I almost said shit. It's like stuff and shit together. Stuff, shit, shuff. Yeah, all the other shuff that they've come out with. And so anyways, the Xbox controller Dragon Ball Z is where I was getting with this. I ramble. Looks super clean, looks very good. That was going to be the controller I was going to recommend, was going to say, hey, can I get this? But they're like, we'll send you a free controller. I was like, I've also never experienced an Xbox Elite controller. Might as well try my hand and see, push my luck and see if they'll send me one. And they did. I am going to continue using that controller. I'm going to try to get it completely, really break it in and really mess with it. And I think there's a Windows app that goes with it. When controllers have apps, I think that's stupid. It's a controller. It should function as a controller out of the box, and it technically does. But to get the functionality of the push buttons, you got to have an app, I think, to really dial it in and whatnot. So we'll play with it, and kind of just keep messing with it. I think that's it. Since I'm mentioning that controller, I might as well mention my current favorite controller, still the NYXI Warrior Bluetooth controller from NYXI. It's that GameCube inspired, controller that actually has a dongle that plugs into the front of a GameCube. I love that controller. It's micro switches. That's going to rub some people wrong. They're not going to like the micro switches, but it does have the analog triggers. And I think that so far is my favorite go-to controller. I use it when I'm playing PC games that require a controller or that offers a better experience on with a controller than not, and that's my go-to. I think the battery life is pretty decent. In my testing, it's lasting roughly 16 hours, and then I charge it up. So and I don't sit and play games for 16 hours straight. I don't have that luxury, but so it takes me a couple days. So you kind of have that normal wear and tear of days passing with the battery not in use, but even just sitting there, it drains slightly. A great controller, so I strongly recommend that as well. For those that are looking, I think that controller is like $4 as well from NYXI. So there we go. There's the 2 controller shoutouts. I think we can stop talking about controllers now. Top notch for different reasons. Anything going on in life? No, not really. Things are kind of slowing down. Life was getting a bit hectic for a little while there. With a lot of family things going on, a lot of just life in general. Work has been busy. But things are kind of settling down. It's getting easier. Broadcast.tv, the website. We're getting members. I've been toying around and kind of working on stuff on the side on trying to get written guides out there. Retro Game Corp, Russ from Retro Game Corp, does written guides on his website, and they are phenomenal. I actually started reading through one for SyncThing, so that way I can pick up a handheld, play a game, stop, continue on my computer, stop, continue on the Steam Deck. And I tried messing with SyncThing around the same time that Retro Game Corp was making their video. I had heard about it, and tried making my own video on it. And for whatever reason, for me, I can only get it to work between 2 devices. I can't get it to work amongst like a whole bunch of devices. So I didn't want to make a video. And then Russ did a fantastic job. Editor Russ, not you. I mean, you do a fantastic job at editing the videos, but in making a comprehensive guide on SyncThing, because this is the most confusing, not friendly software, but does really cool things if you get it to work out the way it should. And I really want to get it to work amongst all my handhelds, because every time I get a handheld or I start working on a save file, it takes time. I always have to set up the micro SD cards. I always have to set up the file structure, get everything where I want it, get the designs on it, scrape the media on it so it looks pretty for YouTube. I personally don't really care, but it's got to look nice if you're going to present it, and that always takes time. And if I was able to kind of just knock it all to not do it automatically, that would make my job easier. That would make it so I can get videos out a lot sooner, a lot more cohesive for you guys, and just a better experience for everybody. Also, I wouldn't have to start the same save files over from the beginning or inject them, on a USB thumb drive and then plug it in and whatnot. So the pains behind the scenes of doing tech YouTube. So Russ from Retro Game Corp, thank you so much for making that comprehensive guide. I do plan on following through with that more, and then I might upload my experience with setting it up and whatnot. Credits, of course, in there. Definitely check out Retro Game Corp if you like the things that I touch in this channel. Check that out, because he does a phenomenal job, and it's very, very heavily focused with retro handhelds and emulation. I can't say that word. Everyone's weird about that word right now. But yeah, check that stuff out. It's great. Broadcast.tv. Thanks, guys. The memberships have blown up recently. Thank you guys for becoming members, and thank you for supporting the channel. That really helps me out. People, everyone tries to make YouTube not about money. There is an aspect that at some degree, at some level, it is about money. That is just how it works. I work a typical 9 to 5. I do well for myself, but I'm not made of money. And so supporting the channel, becoming a member on there, and I'm trying to make more content so that way, and more things on there for you guys. But just supporting me there really helps. It helps allow us to get, different handhelds that I do then try to reverse, and after I'm done reviewing them and after I'm done with them, then doing giveaways for members to get those handhelds. And so really thank you. It takes a lot to want to support a creator. It takes a lot to say, hey, I want to spend my hard-earned money to give to this other person. Thank you. And for those that want to do that, can't do that, I appreciate you just watching this video. I really do. It's awesome, and that's why we do the Video Games Monthly. Is I try to make it fair, where Video Games Monthly, we're always giving away each month, and then for members, I'm trying other giveaways out of my own pocket each month to make it worthwhile to you guys, and say, I can't do much, but this is my way of thanking you. So check out the free giveaways, why not? Check out the paid giveaways, why not? And then also, last thing about membership, and then we can move on from the self-plug, right? Because everyone's like, self-plugging. I agree. It's gross. It feels gross. I hate asking, hey, can you support this? But, it helps. It helps me pay Russ. It helps me buy handhelds to review on the channel. It helps me buy Flipper Zero accessories to review on the channel. And it helps me buy new devices, such as the Interrupt, and I forget what that other device is called right now, that I do need to finish the checkout process, so that way we actually have that on order. But the last thing I want to say about memberships is, guys, I'm giving away 3 months completely free. You gain all the benefits of being a member. The memberships, I think, are $4.99. I try to make it the same as Twitch. Since I don't stream on Twitch that often, I figured, let's do this on the website. It's like a Patreon. It's the same system setup. It's just run through Fourth Wall instead. But anyways, I'm giving away 3 months free with the sign-up code. Russ, can we get a little thing on the screen somewhere? Welcome to MBTV. And at least enjoy the 3 months. Put a note in your calendar to cancel after 3, or after 2, just cancel it out. You do have to put payment information in there, so that way it auto continues afterwards. But at least, why not join for 3 months? Get the free premium giveaways. I give away Steam games every month to every member. Even if you join in the middle of the month, you get a free Steam game. And then the premium giveaways, I always make sure it's at least worth $50 or more. And right now it's out of my own personal collection that I'm giving away, these premium giveaway things. So check it out. Why not? I think last month, July, because this is probably going to come out in August. I'm in July right now, but in July's premium giveaway, I think we gave away the entire Star Wars collection on Steam, and I think that's like $120. I think the member Nigeria, the whole country of Nigeria, won the Star Wars collection, and guys, it's just cool. That's it. All right, Russ, maybe trim that out a little bit, trim the fat out of that. No one likes to hear self-plug and self-promotion. No one gives a shit. I personally also don't give a shit. And again, my big thing is I love that you're here watching this video. That supports me. It really does. You don't think it, a lot of people are like, whatever. But no, really, you just watching the videos, that supports the channel. Becoming a member supports the channel. Being subscribed supports the channel. And so let's just continue growing, guys. Let's continue. Let's get it. Let's make it happen. And I'm not going to be one of those that pretends like the monetary doesn't exist. It does. It does. I'm going to cut it to you straight, but no bullshit attached. There is a monetary aspect to YouTube. There is a monetary thing that's involved. I'm not going to sell out. I'm only going to do sponsorships that I care about. I've actually turned a couple away that have reached out and were like, hey, will you do this? And I said, fuck no. That has nothing to do with what I stand for or what the channel stands for. And so, you know, if I do a sponsorship, most likely is it going to be a positive? Yes, because I am only going to back up things that I care about and things that I actually agree with. I'm trying to prove that as well, that with this Dream Controller sponsorship, the artwork and the work that Dream Controller does is fantastic. The controller itself that Microsoft put out, I don't like. You know, I think that's fair. There's a positive, there's a negative. And I want to check out with my own money another one of Dream Controller's controllers and maybe review that out of my own pocket. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to title this signal check because I'm just rambling at this point. But let's reel it in. Let's dial it back. I have old man syndrome. Is what I always call it. Old man syndrome. I just ramble and talk about various things, and the one thing connects to another, and I just keep going and going and going. And I think people at work don't like talking to me on the phone because I always keep them too long. Sorry. I'm gonna keep doing it. Yeah, guys, let me know what you guys want to see. I do plan on making a kind of a retro deep dive on certain games. I just recorded yesterday morning. I accidentally stayed up I think I ended up staying up for like 30 hours just this past Saturday. Today's Monday morning. I'm definitely feeling it. I think I stayed up for like 30 plus hours. I didn't mean to. I got focused on a video, and I made my top 5 hidden gems. And I like made the whole script for it because I wanted to make sure to, you know, say facts about the games and whatnot. It took a long time actually to type it all, the script, get it all together, and then make that one. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Guys, I enjoy gaming. I enjoy tech. The Flipper Zero, like I said, I think is a dying product. There are other things we could do with it. If you guys really want to see it, let's do it. I just don't have the knowledge. I don't have the pen testing knowledge behind it. My programming, you know, I took a college course in high school of C++ programming, and that was kind of it. Anything else that I've done with programming has been self-taught, or, you know, turning to YouTube and go, hey, how do I do this? And, you know, I'm trying to figure that out and work through it. So I'm not a tech know-how. I'm not really programming know-how. I have friends in programming that have jobs in programming, and I bug them from time to time, go, hey, so if I'm trying to do this, what do I do here? So Auni, Curtis, sorry, I bug you guys a bit when it comes to that type of stuff. You know, I try to figure it out myself and try to put something together in a nice little pretty package and then teach it on YouTube when most times, honestly, yeah, and I've said this in other videos, and I think people think I'm lying, but like when I make videos, something like a majority of the time when it comes to tech, I'm just learning about it as I'm recording, talking about it, and so there's a lot of fluff that's cut out, and a lot of me going, Russ, take that part out. Russ, let's not talk about that. Let's cut that whole thing out. Let's redo it. And then I'm doing a second take, a third take, a fourth take, and where I'm learning about the tech as I'm talking about it. Is that the best method to do? No. But when I talk about it, it at least works out. So that's really it. For some reason, my eye just keeps watering over here. Oh my goodness. Guys, I really don't know. There's not much. Oh, some people have asked about the mail thief. What's going on with that? So nothing has happened. It's been about a month. It's almost been 2 months now since that transpired. We recorded footage. I just gave it to Russ just this past weekend. And like, here's me making the dummy packages, and so that's gonna get updated. That's gonna come out at some point. I realized I never made like an intro, like what are we doing type of thing. So I need to actually make a video. It's now after the fact, but I need to make a video stating like, we're trying to catch a mail thief and you know, make it all campy and it's stupid. So, but I've had a couple people in the neighborhood who've agreed to let me put my dummy packages in their mailboxes that's just sitting there. We're waiting for them to strike. That's the fun thing, is you never know when. And on a most recent walk with Miles, one of the neighborhood streets got hit, and I was like, oh, okay, good. Not good, but it's going to happen. We're building up to it again. And so I thought it was going to happen last night. Didn't happen. I thought it was going to happen the night before that. Didn't happen. So, I don't know when it's going to happen next, guys. Hopefully soon, so we have the content for it. But I'm also happy that it's not happening, because I have packages delivered to my house, and I would be pissed if one of those got jacked. But I really don't have anything else to talk about. I think I covered a lot. I think there's a lot that's been taken care of. I think there's a lot that we've gone over. I feel like my last thought, I went off on a tangent. I think it just fell to the wayside, so that's fine. That's what these whole things are about. It's mainly just ramblings. Oh! Nope, thought of something. I was talking with Russ, and talking about a GBStudio idea that I definitely think is doable. I played Cult of the Lamb recently on my Steam Deck, and in there's a mini game called Bare Knuckles or Knuckle Bones. I forget what it's called. Anyways, I think we could easily transport that and translate that over to GBStudio. And so I want to start that project and start kind of going over all of that type of stuff. And I know I think there's quite a few videos where I'm like, hey, I've recorded some footage of GBStudio, and that's true. And then I have just let it fall to the wayside again and again and again. So, but I really want to do this. I have a notebook that I usually keep on me. I don't have it on me today, of all things. It's usually in my back pocket, where if I come up with something, or if I think of something, I jot it down, because I will forget. But I definitely think that we can definitely make a series making that mini game from Cult of the Lamb into a GBStudio series. And I really think it's actually going to push the Game Boy mechanics and console to its limits. You wouldn't think so, but it can only support so many sprites on screen at once. Everything is math. It's an 8-bit console. It is divided by 8, and it could only hold 392 unique tiles. And so I think there's a way I think there is a risk that it is going to push the system kind of to its limits for not much, for basically like a janky dice game. So stay tuned for that. That's actually going to happen. Russ, hold me to it. Hold me hostage for it. All right? Great. Guys, thanks so much. Really appreciate, again, you guys watching, supporting the channel, and being subscribed, or being members on ModernBroadcast.tv. And last plug, I promise. You like how that just got worked in there. And have a great week, everyone. All right? I'll see you Sunday for whatever is coming out Sunday. I don't even know what's coming out this Sunday. So take care. Bye.